I remember hitting what felt like rock bottom. I was an alcoholic. It ran in my family. All the tendencies, the genetics, I inherited them. There was no denying it. I knew it. My friends knew it. On the way home from work, I would stop at the liquor store and start drinking. But that wasn't the worst of it. I started smoking pot daily for 8 years. I told myself that it helped me concentrate and relax. Now, I wouldn't do it at work, but when I got to my car, there would be a joint in the ashtray waiting for me. One hit, and I was so relaxed. That's all it took. I quit my job, and it wasn't because of the pot. My boss was a workaholic. I needed the break. So I drove out to San Francisco to spend some time with friends for about 5 weeks. It was there that I was introduced to the wonderful world of cocaine. Did I say wonderful? That was what led me down the path to destruction.
I still remember the first time that I met him. It was at a 12-step meeting. And you could tell at first glance that he was in the right spot. So I went over to introduce myself, and you could just see the confusion and the exhaustion. He looked lost. The 12-step program, we don't use pressure tactics or shame or guilt. And we've all had to walk through that door the first time. So I just wanted him to know that he was there among friends. And so I tried to break the ice with him. And he did seem to relax a little bit. You know, it's amazing when you get to know somebody like that. You can't help but to like him. Such a likable guy. And as the meeting started, I had high hopes for him.
I'll never forget the 12-step program. You see, for years I had tried to quit my addictions on my own and got nowhere. The first night of the first meeting, I can't tell you how embarrassed I felt, how ashamed and how guilty I was. But I met people there and heard their stories, and they weren't any different from mine. We all wanted the same thing, a normal life. I met my sponsor for the first time that night, and as I submitted myself to God in the 12-step program, I could just feel this change working inside me. And with each meeting that I attended, I began to grow more and more confident that maybe, just maybe, I could beat this thing. I remember that first prayer I said that first night. I said, Lord, please help me. Help me to be sober. Do you know what? He did.
It's a wonderful thing watching somebody get their life back. We talk about the downtrodden, the homeless, crackheads, prostitutes, and the like. But until you've actually worked with somebody and seen them climb out of that pit of despair, rise up out of the gutter, you've never truly seen the healing power of Christ come full circle. We as sponsors do our part, and some sponsors think that they're the only part. But I know that I can't do anything without my higher power, Jesus Christ. And believe me, it is an honor to work with him, to see those success stories. No, those miracles happen right in front of your eyes. In the 12-step program, we tell folks, it's not a destination, it's a journey. But it's a journey into a wonderful life.
I can't tell you how I felt when I woke up in that hospital room, tubes coming out of my body, not knowing where I was or how I got there. And then slowly it started coming back to me. And with it, this flood of emotion of the embarrassment and the shame and the guilt, I just wanted to curl up and die. You see, it had been several months after the end of the 12-step program, and I had been invited to a friend's house for a party. While I was there, someone offered me a beer. I had been completely sober since the end of the program, and so I was very firm, no. But my friends knew what I had gone through, and they said, one drink, it's not going to hurt. Still, I wanted to be firm. I didn't want to give in. But the smell, and everyone was having such a good time. It took less than 30 minutes. I just don't remember. The doctor told me I had many drugs in my system that night. I just don't remember. And then he walked in.
I've been around long enough to realize that not every story ends happily. Many folks who start the 12-step program end up right back where they started. I was hopeful that this would be one of those stories that we could sit around for years reminiscing about God's miracles working in his life. And then I got the phone call. I went up to the hospital and they let me into the ICU room. And I found out just how close he had come to not making it. I went into the room and we started talking, and it was pretty clear that he was really uncomfortable with me being there. But I talked to him how important it was as my sponsee to call me every day. Because that's what the buddy system is for. We're there to help each other. As my sponsee, I knew that he was a believer. And yes, believers do struggle with addictions and a lot more. But I knew he was a believer, so I asked him if I could pray with him. And tears welled up in his eyes. And he couldn't even say the word yes. He just mouthed the word. So we had prayer together. I left. And as I left the hospital, I couldn't help but wonder what his future had in store for him.
That was 10 years ago. By God's grace and his help, I've been able to resist a relapse since that awful night. I know my sponsor grew tired of me calling him every day, even when things were going well. Now, things aren't perfect for me now, but they sure are a whole lot better. I have a wife now, a family, a good job. Who would have thought that about me? Now I know that I will always struggle. I will always be an addict. But with the Lord's help and the support of my family, I know that someday my Savior is going to come back. And when he does, I am going to thank him for his amazing love for me, for his patience. God knows I needed it.